Hey guys, this is your final, not your final, this is test 8 review. So before you take your test 8, maybe you should try checking this video out and see how you're supposed to do questions 1 to 10. So let's start with the first question. Is -7 a solution of the equation -9x plus 9 equals 72? Explain. Well, first thing first, what do we want to do? Well, we're going to rewrite equation. So what do I mean by that? We're going to rewrite this. Instead of using x, we're going to use -7. So again, we're going to have -9, and instead of x, it's going to be -7. Now it's going to be a plus 9 is equal to 72. Is that the correct way to write it? Nope, because if you write it like this, what's the operation between -9 and -7? Subtraction, right? But here, what's the operation between -9 and x? Multiplication. So we need to carry over the operation to our new equation. How do we do that? Well, we're going to, instead of no parentheses, we're going to have parentheses included. And then we're just going to solve. What is -9 times -7? It's going to be a positive, right? Positive what? Positive 63. 63 plus 9 is equal to still 72. Again, we're just going to bring down everything down. And then we're going to check if 63 plus 9 is actually really 72. 63 plus 9 is what? Is 72. So since 72 is equal to 72, yes, a solution. Now let's do number 2. We have 15 is equal to -5x over 7. So what do we do? Well, first thing first, we're going to get rid of that division by 7. You can have option 1, treat it as a proportion, or option 2, you just do it step by step. In this case, I'll just treat it as step by step. So we're going to multiply both sides. Then, since we're doing it step by step, I want you guys to write a line that goes through the equation. And we're going to multiply both sides by 7. And then we're just going to multiply 15 times 7, which is 105, is equals to -5x. Now we want, there's no denominator, or there's no more denominator, so we got rid of that right here. This cancels on, this cancels out. But now we have -5x. Now what do we want? We want x by itself again. Our goal didn't change. Our goal is we want x by itself. To do that, we need to get rid of that -5. How do we do that? Well, we can't subtract because when they're not like terms. If we subtract it here, can we subtract -5x and -5? Can we subtract anything there? No, since they're not they don't have the same variable part. They're not like terms. So how do we get rid of that negative 5? Again, what's the operation between negative 5 and x? Is multiplication, right? So how do we get rid of that multiplication? What undoes multiplication? Division. So we're going to divide your right side by negative 5. And remember, since we're dividing on the one side of the line, we also have to divide on the other side of the line. So 105 divided by not just 5, but negative 5. That will give you guys some kind of negative. Positive and negative gives you negative. And then 105 divided by 5 is 21. Is equal to what? Well, the x's the negative 5's cancels out, and you're just left with x. So negative 21 is equal to x. Now let's move on to 3. Now what do we have here? Well, a few things, but the easiest way to do this is you have learned this in topic 7, I believe. Proportions. We treat it as proportion. What do we do when we have proportions? We cross multiply. I mean, you can do it here too, but you have to turn 15 to a fraction first before you do anything. In this case, number 3 is pretty nice to us, since there's already two fractions, and then you can cross multiply simply. So we're going to cross multiply both. Do you guys remember how to cross multiply? We're going to multiply 42 times 54 is equals to 36 times x. And then what's 42 times 54? 42 times 54 is... oh, that's some big number. 2268 is equals to 36x. And then now you want x by itself, so you draw the line. So you don't forget what you do on one side, you do on the other side. Now divide both sides by 36. And that'll give you guys x cancels out here. 36 cancels out. And you're left with x and 200. You're left with 63 on the left hand. But this one's a bit difficult, right? It takes a long time to do 42 times 44. So what can you do? Well, before you do anything, what you can do is you can simplify 42 over x is equal to 6 over 54. Well, before you do any cross multiplication, we can simplify. So let's try. First thing first, can we simplify 42 and 36? Nope, because they're on both numerators. Again, when we simplify, we want to do the top and bottom, never the top and top. So can we speak on that? Can we simplify 42 and 54? Why not? Well, the answer is you can't, because this is an equal sign. And yet, again, the only time we can simplify things is when the middle of the two fraction is multiplication. But instead we have an equal sign, so that means we can simplify 42 and 54. But what we can simplify is 36 and 54. They both share a common factor of 9. 36 divided by 9 is 4. and this is simply 6. Is there anything else we can do? Yes. 4 and 6, a common factor of 2. So we can simplify this even more to 2, and this just becomes 3. So when we cross multiply, it's going to be 42 times 3 is equals to 2x. 42 times 3 is 126 equals to 2x. And now we're going to find x by itself, so we draw the line, divide both sides by what number? 2. We're going to be left with x is equals to 63. So still the same answer, but this one's a bit easier for me at least. Because you don't have to multiply 42 times 3 to 4. Instead we have something easy. 42 times 3 instead. But either way you have the same answer, so you're still good. Now you have 6a plus 9 is equals to negative 1. Again, our goal doesn't change, we want variables by itself. So we have 6a plus 9 equals to negative 1, and then we're just going to draw the line and solve for a. To do that, we want to get rid of that constant 9. How do we get rid of that? We subtract 9 on this side. And since we're subtracting 9 on that side, we also subtract on the right side. Hence you're left with 6a is equals to what? Negative 10. Negative 1 minus 9 is negative 10. Now you divide both sides by 6. 6a is equals to negative 10. Divide both sides by 6. Again, don't forget to draw the line. We use a blue pen so you guys can see, and then divide both sides. So again, some might think this is 16, this is actually 10. Now you have this one is 6 cancels out, and you're left with a is equals to negative 10 over 6, or we can simplify that to negative 5 over 3. Again, I want you guys to if you guys get fraction, I want you guys to write in simplest form. But again, this shows that in this test you can have fractions and your answer is still correct. Okay, just because some people when they do a test, they get fraction and they get scared because they believe it's going to be an exact number. It's not going to happen that all the time. Okay, if you guys get a fraction, great, that's okay. That means you're doing correctly. And if you get fraction, and if you get whole numbers, maybe the test is the one giving you good. Maybe the test is easy and gives you whole numbers. Maybe the test is difficult and will give you fractions. Either way, it depends on the test. Now let's do number 5. First thing first, we have negative 3x minus 3 is equals to negative 6x. 6 minus 6x. When you, oh, by the way, when you rewrite the equation into your scratch paper, sometimes people make mistakes and they rewrite it wrong, and that rewrite makes it, they do all the steps, but since their rewrite is wrong, their answer is wrong. So make sure that your first rewrite is the correct rewrite, okay? Now, what do we do? Well, first, we still want x by itself, but since we have x on both sides, we want to get rid of the bigger x, the smaller x. How do we do that? We have to move it. So since negative 6x is the smaller variable, we had to move it by adding 6x on both sides. So it's going to be 3x minus 3 minus 3 is equals to 6. Now we want to get rid of that constant 3. How do we do that? Well, since subtract, we do the opposite operation. We add 3 on both sides. Hence, you're going to get 3x is equals to 9. Now we want to get rid of that coefficient coefficient 3. How do we do that? Well, we are going to divide both sides by 3. Hence, your answer is going to be x is equals to 3. If you plug it in, negative 3 times 3 minus 3 will give you the same equation, negative 12, negative 12. Now let's do 6. So we have 4x minus 42 is equals to negative 2x plus 6x minus 7. And now we're going to solve. So first thing first, we want to simplify things to make it easier for us. So let's distribute 6 on both the terms inside the parentheses. So it's going to be 4x minus 42 is equals to negative 2x plus 6x minus 42. Now we want to use some simplify, combine like terms. So since there's no like terms in this on your left side of the equal sign, just leave it as this. 40x minus 42 is equals to, and then we can combine negative 2x and 6x into 4x minus 42. And since we have a reflection, 4x minus 42 is obviously going to be equals 40x minus 42 for any number you put in for x. That means that when you have this kind of things, what do you get? You get something called identity. So if you get something, a reflection, you get identity. Otherwise, you get a solution. This is solutions. That means there's an exact value for A that makes it true. Identity is that for any value of x, the statement will still be true because it's a reflection. Now let's say we have 7. Again, first thing first, we want to do is we want to distribute. In this case, when we rewrite it, negative 9x minus 3 minus 6 minus 6x is equals to 6, 9x plus 3 plus 4. Now, first thing first, distributes. 9x will still be by itself. This one will be negative 18. This one will be minus negative 18x is equals to 54x plus 18 plus 4. Now combine like this. Let's start with the left hand side. Like this with 9x is this term. So if you add it, we'll give you guys 27x minus 18 is equals to 54x plus 22. Now we solve. First thing first, we want to get okay, I got scared for a second there. So yes, we simply solve it. 27x minus 18, 54x. So still the same thing, we're going to draw the line. Subtract both sides by 27. Since again, what are we're doing here is we want to get rid of the smaller variable by subtracting or adding. In this case, 27 was a smaller variable. So now our new equation, as we did, so once we remove the smaller variable, is negative 18 is equals to 27x plus 22. Now we want to get rid of constant, so draw the line first so we don't get confused. Subtract both sides by 22, as we're going to get negative 40 is equals to 27x, and then to get rid of 27 you divide both sides by 27. Hence, the answer is 40 over 27, or if we simplify that, can you simplify that? No. So the answer answer is simply x is equals to negative 40 over 27. Since you cannot simplify it, just leave it as is. You don't need to write it in mixed numbers. We're past beyond that. Now we have the inequalities I was talking about. We have 5x minus 3 less than or equal to 4 plus 4x. Again, first thing first, let me rewrite that, make it bigger. Now, since we have two variables on both sides of the equation, we want to get rid of the smaller variable. In this case, it's a 4x is a smaller variable, so we subtract both sides by 4x. Hence you're left with x minus 3 is less than or equal to 4. Now we want to get rid of that minus 3, so we add 3 on both sides. Again, draw the line so you guys don't forget. So you guys don't get confused on what you're missing when you do something on one side, you do it on the other side. So you add 3 on your right hand side also. Hence you're left with x is less than or equal to 7. Pretty simple, right? Now if you do it the other way, if you didn't do the step that I was telling you about, what's that? Getting rid of the smaller variable, you're going to have a negative x right here. And now you're going to, later on, you have to get rid of that negative from x. So you have to divide both sides by -1, and then you're going to switch. And that's more steps than needed. It's more trouble for his work than not following my steps. Okay? So it's better to just get rid of the smaller variable than not. Get what I'm trying to say? My bad, this is not color coded. This is +3 by the way. But your answer is the x is less than or equal to 7. Last one, 9. We have 8 negative 7 plus x greater than or equal to -4 plus 6 5 plus x. What do we do? Well, we're going to distribute 8 to all the terms inside, so that's going to be negative 86 plus 8x greater than or equal to -4 plus 30 plus 6x. Now combine any like terms. Again, we cannot combine -56 and 4 and 30 since they're both on the opposite side of the equations. You can only combine it if they're on the same side. Okay? So -56 plus 8x stays the same. The inequality stays the same. In this case, for -4 plus 30 is 26, not 26. It's 26 plus 6x. Now we want to get rid of the smaller variable. Again, by subtracting both sides by -6x. answer left with negative. Now, what do? We want to get rid of that minus negative 56, so we add 56 on both sides. Let me draw a line so you guys can follow along. So hence now your new inequality is 2x is greater than or equal to 82. Now divide both sides by 2. And you're going to be x is greater than or equal to 41. So your final answer is x is greater than or equal to 21. So it's pretty easy, right? 1 to 9 is pretty easy. Now 10 is like the easiest one. So now we have x is greater than 4. Now we're just going to graph it. Is it going to be, we're going to identify the starting point is going to be right here. Is it going to be open or closed? I'll give you a few seconds. Is it going to be open or closed? So the answer is going to be, let me write it, open. So right here, when you graph it, it's going to be open right here. Let's draw a circle. Again, when you're graphing things, it doesn't have to be exact, as long as the shape is, as long as you can convey the meaning. Okay, right here, 4 is open, and then we're going to figure out if the graph goes to the left or to the right. To do that, we're going to pick any number next to 4. Let's try 0. We're going to check 0. Is 0 greater than 4? Well, obviously, no. So that means the graph doesn't go this way. The graph goes the opposite way. It goes this way. Pretty simple, right? This also works if it's negative 4 or whatnot. In this case, it was a bit easy since it gave us a positive 4, and then we're just gonna graph it. Again, open circle, and then pick a number next to 4, plug it in instead of x. If it's yes, then you shaded that direction. If no, you shade the opposite direction. And that's all for topic 8 test 1 to 10. Good luck. Have fun.